We equated a project with non-routine work. Let's give more shape and form to this notion by defining a project as a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. This definition is right out of the PMBOK Guide, the Project Management Body of Knowledge, a publication of the Project Management Institute. The key word here is unique, which is consistent with our earlier portrayal of projects as being non-routine work. The word temporary should be interpreted in two ways. First, there are clear start and end criteria for a project. And second, there is a targeted time frame for completion of a project. And it's okay if this target is revised from time to time. Having clearly defined start and end criteria are important because a project can be part of a longer chain of projects. For example, getting a new product to market may involve several projects, such as a market study, a business case, a prototype development, a marketing plan, etc. There needs to be clear demarcation between the various projects that chain together to accomplish the broader goal. In case you are wondering why the word result is added to the project definition, bear in mind that not all projects have outcomes that are products and/or services. For example, a project that requires one to improve a major process only has a result, namely the improved process, and no project or service as an outcome. Now let's look a little more closely at the word unique in the project definition. How unique does a project have to be? Obviously, there could be some parts of a project that are not unique. For example, when constructing a skyscraper, installing the carpet in one of the conference rooms is pretty much a routine process for the carpet installer. Does that negate the uniqueness aspect of constructing the skyscraper? Obviously not. The best way to interpret uniqueness is that there is a sufficient degree of uniqueness as determined by the project manager or the project team. And this determination can be subjective or could be arrived at by a more objective process. You can start to see that this sufficiently unique notion can in some cases make it challenging to determine whether something is a project or not. For example, is publishing the Chicago Tribune each day a project or not? Think about it. I'm sure you will see that one could argue both ways. Perhaps the correct answer would be the one determined by the editor of the newspaper. Another useful definition is that of a program. Instead of defining it precisely, it is adequate to think of a program as containing a group of related projects that are managed together for operational reasons so that economies of scope and scale are exploited. For example, a developer constructing an office campus comprising several buildings could regard each building as a project and the campus as a whole as a program. The PMBOK Guide definition of project management itself is fairly straightforward. Project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. How should we define a project manager? We will not answer the question fully at this point because the answer will evolve as we progress through this course. However, for now, we can think of a project manager as the person having end-to-end responsibility for the project and its outcomes. The project management role is multifaceted. It involves a lot of responsibilities to upper management, to the project team, to stakeholders who may be in or out of the organization, or even our governmental entities. This clearly calls for a multitude of soft and hard skills, like communication, negotiation, leadership, planning, analytical ability, emotional intelligence, and so on. It is rare to find all these skills in one individual, so a project manager should seek to complement his or her skill set with those of individuals with whom she or he trusts and works closely. It is not uncommon for project managers to feel that they are burdened with responsibility without having adequate rank or authority. This can be an issue, but we will later discuss how to at least partially address it by pointing out some avenues that can create de facto authority. Remember that authority is not always bestowed. It can, to a degree, also be created. A project manager's ability to communicate with data and numbers, to create convincing arguments, to deal with people and plan out tasks, and even technical capabilities. All of these create some degree of authority and sway. These should not be underestimated or underused. A project manager should try to leverage all these skills and knowledge to create a degree of authority.